The measurement I'm working with is 15 inches divided by 2 will give me 7.5. 7.5. From here, I will take my shoulder slope and I will take my armhole. My armhole length I'm working with is 8 inches. For a perfect sleeve, you can take whatever you have on your shoulder. Take whatever you have on your shoulder, place it after the 1 inch shoulder slope, place it and add 1 inch to it. Whatever you have on your shoulder for a perfect sleeve, when you are drafting, for you to get a perfect sleeve, it starts from when you are drafting. You will measure what you have here. What I have here is 7.5. After this 1 inch shoulder slope, I will place it here and also add 1 inch to it. This will serve as my chest line and also my armhole length. My chest line and my armhole length. In the previous video, I showed you how to get this armhole. And for the neck measurement I'll be working with, because inches for the width, and for the length I'll be taking 7 inches. 7 inches that will connect. For the shoulder slope, make sure you mark your shoulder slope before you impute your lines. Alright, from my shoulder to my bust point is 10.5 inches. From shoulder to under bust will give me 14 inches, and the waist I'm working with is 19 plus 1 inch sewing allowance will give me 20. This will serve as my chest line, this bust, under bust, and this is my waist. So circumference I'm working with is 36. When you divide it by 4, it will give you 8.75, but I will just run it up to 9 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance. Then for the underbust, the underbust I'm working with is 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.25. Then I will take 2 inches sewing allowance. On the waist, what I have on the waist, what I'm working with is 28 divided by 4. Divided by 4 will give me 7 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance. But I will connect. For my subscriber that made the request concerning the armhole, how do you determine your armhole? To determine your armhole, you have to find the middle from here to here. What I have is 8. You mark the middle of the armhole. Then I'm going to, because of the bust I'm working with, I'm going to come in by half an inch. I'll come in by half an inch, then I'll connect. You do this to avoid folds. From here, I will connect to this half an inch. You do this only at the front, don't do it at the back. you do this only in the front, don't do it at the back, please. So I'm going to cut now. I'm going to show you how to fix the sleeve. This is what I have for the front, and for the back. To the back, the length we are working with is 19 inches, the same with the front, plus 1 inch sewing allowance, making it 20 inches. I'll rule it out. This is the back. The measurement I'm working with is 15 inches divided by 2 to give you 7.5. I'll mark my 1 inch shoulder slope. Then from here, whatever we took 8 inches for the front armhole, so the back is still going to be the same, 8 inches. Your armhole for the front and the back must always be the same. It must always be the same. No zip, because it's a wrap top. It's easy to, it's going to have belt. The neck width I used for the front is 3.5, the same with the back. And the depth is going to be 1.5 inches. Then I will take the from my, because this is the back, I don't need the bust, the underbust and all that. It's just to mark out my waist, my waistline. For the darts, what we took is, what we are making use of is, nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4 plus half inch sewing allowance will give me 4.5. Now mark it down. From this chest line, I'll come down by 1 inch. From the waist, I will take half inch, and on this waist, I will take half inch. I will connect. The bust measurement I'm working with is 36 divided by 4 will give me 8.75, but I will make it 9 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. For the waist I'm working with is 28 divided by 4 will give me 7 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. Then for the curve of my armhole, for the armhole curve, for the back, I will take half of my, this for the back I don't need to come in. For the back I don't need to come in because this is the back. I will connect. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. I will cut. With this, I'm going to use it to draft. I'm going to use it to cut on my fabric. To cut the sleeve length I'll be working with. To cut out the sleeve length I'll be working with is going to be a 3/4 sleeve. It's going to be 16 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance will give me 17 inches. I'm making a 3/4 sleeve. For my subscriber that requested how to draft a sleeve and fix, please make sure you watch this video. And for the cap height, to take my cap height, I'll be taking 4 inches. In my previous video, I've explained how to get all these things to get your cap height. So I'll be taking 4 inches for my cap height, and I'll rule it out. Then on this cap height, I'll be taking my round sleeve circumference. The sleeve circumference I'm working with. To be sure of what you are, to be sure of your sleeve, to make sure that your sleeve will fit in perfectly, you can measure what you have here on your pattern. You can measure what you have here. What I have here is 11 inches. From here, you measure. What I have here is 11 inches. So I will impute 11 inches here to be accurate. I will impute 11 inches here. Then from there, I will make a straight line. I'll make a straight line. You see what I'm doing? Make a straight line. And I'll make sure I measure this place. I'll measure this place to make sure I have 11. You see what I have here? I have my accurate sleeve measurements. Then I will find the midpoints. I will find the midpoint of this. Will give me 5.5. That is the midpoint. And from here, you can use your free hand. Just curve in here. And from here, take it down. From here, take it down. Then, for my measurements, the measurement I'm working with, the arm measurement for the round sleeve is 16 inches. When you divide it by 2, it will give you 8. Round sleeve, when I divide it by 2, it will give me 8 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. I will impute it here. And for the wrist I'm working with is 10. The wrist I'm working is 10 divided by 2 will give me 5. I will impute it here. Plus 2 inches sewing allowance. I will put it. Then I'll use my ruler end. With this, I will cut on my fabric. I'm going to show you how to sew it, so stay tuned, and how to shape it to get a perfect fit. So with this, I'll use it in drafts. With this, I'll use it in cuts. I'll get my fabric, fold it into two. I'll fold it into two. I'll cut. Make sure you place your sleeve very well. Make sure you place it very well. See what I have here? This is my sleeve. I'll show you how to fix it. I'll cut the second sleeve. Cut it the same way you cut the first sleeve. To fix in my sleeve, I'll be making use of this machine because there is no light. So I will take my sleeve, I will place it, make sure that the right side is facing the right side. This is the right side, it's facing the right side. Make sure it's facing on the, place it on the shoulder and so. I use half an inch to sew. so you turn to the other side and sew it too. Make sure you open up this allowance. Open up this shoulder allowance and sew. We're going to do the same thing to the other sleeve. So where you sew this, that's the same way you're going to put in the other sleeve. After sewing your armhole, turn to the back. Turn to the back. After sewing your armhole, you see what we have here. Now you're going to shape your armhole. You turn it to the back. To shape your armhole, turn it to the back. See what I have here? You turn it to the back. Use a weaving machine, weave out this place. Make sure you arrange it properly. Make sure you arrange it. Now to shape it to be able to fit your client. To be able to fit your client. The wrist measurement I'm working with is 10 inches divided by 2 will give me 5. I'll mark it here. You divide by 2, not by 4. I'll mark it here. Then for the upper part, the round armhole I'm working with is 16. When I divide it by 2, it will give me 8. So I'll mark it here. I'll mark 8 here. Make sure you shape it well. Mark 8. See what I'm doing. See my armhole. I'll mark 8. The round armhole I'm working with is 8. I'll mark it here. Then from here, I will take it down to the wrist. Don't push your hand inside so that it won't be tight. Just follow the line and mark. Then you're going to connect it. You're going to connect it to the bust points. After shaping this side, what you shaped by the side, using the person's body measurement to shape the side, then you're going to connect this to the shaped side. You see what I'm doing? So I'm going to sew from here down to this part. We're going to connect it to this part. You understand what I'm trying to explain? For my subscriber that requested, please pay attention. We're going to mark from here down. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to sew from here, connect to your bust line. If you still have any question, please ask in the comment section. Let me sew it.